Alright, today we're going to make homemade bread. And
what do we have in here? What is that?
This right here is just some yeast. It's 2 tablespoons of yeast. We're making 2 loaves of whole wheat bread.
Okay.
And so what we buy here in Ecuador, we do get some of the wheat berries, but we don't have one of the food mills yet. All I have is a little grinder, so we've been buying the whole wheat flour. And we get it downtown at a certain store called Santa Cecilia Supermercado. And this is exactly 4 cups because I measured it. And it costs, I think it's 57 cents for 4 cups of whole wheat flour. And then I use about 6 cups of whole wheat flour to 3 cups of white flour. You need to have a little bit of white flour for it to rise good. At least that's my opinion. And what I'm going to do is this is cane sugar here, and I'm going to put a tablespoon of it in the yeast so the yeast will rise. Make sure that you don't use too hot of water. I use 2 cups of water. And it's just warm. It's going to sit for a minute and bubble up. Put a big tablespoon of salt. And the rest of it's going to be the flour. Okay. After it starts bubbling up, you can start putting in your flours. And this is 4 cups of whole wheat right here. I already measured these. I know they're 4 cups, and I'm going to do half of another 4 thing, so it'll be 6 cups total of the whole wheat. And
just gonna mix it.
Mix it in real well. Whole wheat bread is a lot better for you than the white flour. Now I do use a little bit of white flour. I'm going to use, this is probably going to be about, it looks like this now, I'm probably going to use about 2.5 to 3 cups. I've been making breads for so many years I don't even measure anymore, so I'm just going to start putting it in there.
But that would be approximately, would you say?
2 to 3 cups, what I'm doing right here, probably more like 2. And then I put a little bit in my working area here because I'm going to be putting that down there in a minute and netting.
I'm just going to mix that.
Bread is so simple and easy to make. It doesn't have to be something hard. A lot of people say they don't make homemade bread because it's just difficult or their bread doesn't rise. Well, it did take me, I guess, probably a good year to be able to make good bread. Now, you can't mix it with the spoon anymore, you do have to start netting. And that's what we're going to start doing now. This is going to make 2 real good sized loaves of whole wheat. Now you like this. Okay, when the bread doesn't feel sticky anymore, it's done being netted. And it's not feeling sticky anymore, so. By the way, I forgot to tell you at the beginning of the video, this bread's going to be more like French bread, so you don't need to use oil at all in the bread. It makes a much harder loaf. Put about a tablespoon in your bowl. And make sure the ball of dough has oil all around it and around the sides of the bowl because it's going to rise now. And you let it rise for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then we're going to come back and we're going to shape it into loaves. Alrighty, so the bread's been rising for about 45 minutes. Here it is. We're going to put it back over here on the flour board. And we're going to make it into 2 loaves. That's usually what I do, or I'll make it into about 15 rolls. But today we're going to do loaves, and I just, the second time I don't net it as much, so we're just going to kind of break it apart into the 2 loaves. There we go. And just shape it however you like your loaves. Some people like longer, skinny loaves, like this. For French bread, which is what we're going to do, and it's ready to go. Put it on here.
And that's an oiled pan?
Yeah, there's oil on the pan. Now remember, this is French bread, so there's no oil in the bread. If you want to have just regular sliced sandwich bread that's a little bit softer, then you would put about a 1/4 cup oil in the bread in the beginning when you put the water. You can put some oil in there. There we go. And what I like to do is I get a knife and I make a little slit down middle like this.
No, that's not all the way down. That's just...
Yeah, that's not
Kinda on
all
the
the
top.
way down. Just on the top, kind of opens it up a little bit while it's, because it's going to grow and open that. And I like to put, you can make the bread look pretty with some oats. You can put some oatmeal on it. I usually do oatmeal when I'm making
Sesame seeds too?
oat bread. Yeah, I was going to get the sesame seeds. I'm going to do some sesame seeds. This bread's going to go with the chili that I'm making tonight for dinner. Just put some on my hand like this. And let's do this a little bit. There. They're real good toasted in the oven when you bake the bread. The bread needs to bake for about 25 minutes on 350. And we'll show you what the bread looks like after it rises for another probably about a half hour to 45 minutes. All right, here's the bread after it's been rising for 45 minutes. And now we're going to put it in the oven for 25 minutes on 350. All right, here they are, nice and hot out of the oven. 2 loaves of whole wheat French bread.